97.3 City FM. Relevant radio, always.
But thank God, instead of fire and brimstone, we have water. It rained this morning and the whole of this evening. What it demonstrates is that Baumia is like Mount Olympus. He cannot be shaken. He is on shaking motion, as constant as the Northern Star. And I'm very pleased for the way that he's taking, the respondents to the exercise that brought us to court today. And so we are very happy. Indeed, when it came to overvoting, there was very little that council could do to shake, this Olympus.
Yeah.
So indeed, he has been a closer person, and I'm very happy for the way that he's answered questions and the way that he's conducted himself. And everybody sees him as a very credible witness, and that is what is important. And I can tell you that in spite of all the things that have been suggested to him, they could not shake him. And I'm very pleased for him. We come back tomorrow, we'll continue, and I can tell you that councils will regret the day that they decided to call assembly. And you get the sense that it gets to a stage that councils would want to stop the price examination, but they can't, because Baumia will take you and walk you through the school of excellence.
Which is known in legal practice as a court expert, should be able to look at the totality of the evidence, provide the court with an answer, so it will assist the court in making the determination. The court went into recess and came back and said it was at a loss why the respondents were asking for an audit, because they had specifically alleged that our patients were less than 11,000 plus and that they were only in the area of 8,000. They must have done some studies, they must have conducted some investigation to have come to that decision. And therefore, the court did not see the necessity for any audit. In any case, the court held the view that you are alleging 8, they are alleging 11,000. It is up to the parties to prove their numbers. And at the end of the day, the court will make a determination based on the evidence. So the cross-examination resumed, and that is where we are. We will always start at 10 and finish at 4. But these things are always subject to the convenience and therefore the review of the court. And therefore today, we started a little after 10, but we see that we did not get finished till almost 5. It is not possible for us to tell what it will be like tomorrow. Indeed, initially the court said we were to start at 9. But we indicated that the first petitioner, Ato Dadzie, is involved in another matter in the High Court brought against him by former Supreme Court Judge Justice Beggar, and he has to be in that court for 9. We therefore asked the court to allow the proceedings in the Supreme Court to start at 10 as usually happens, and the court acceded to that request. So we'll be starting from 10 tomorrow. But we will get to know from day to day how the times are going to be fixed as it appears.
As I keep saying, cross-examination is the key that makes or break a case. And clearly we see from this point that the witness, Dr. Mahama Baumia, is being put under real fire. I mean, there's a lot of hard questions coming out, forcing me to make some key admissions as far as we are concerned. He was shown at least 176 categories of duplications of pink sheets. He made admissions, yes, there were duplications, but they said they didn't take the 2 or the multiples into account. Well, the judges will decide on that altogether. They also went on and raised the issue of the total number of polling stations. Clearly, that is a contentious matter. Right from the word go, we said that we had received not more than complaints, total complaints arising out of 8,621 polling stations. And we still stand by our word. 8,621 polling stations. Now, they claim that they've supplied us with 11,138 polling stations. Now, this is not an idle issue. A polling station translates into figures. So if, like I said earlier on, they have in fact supplied us with 8,621, then there's a shortfall of over 3,300 polling stations which they can't account for, or they are deemed to have abandoned, which means that they would have abandoned about 1/3 of their claim outright. But they claim that we have in our custody 11,138 polling stations. That led to our request, or our solicitor's request, that we should have an independent account or total of the figures. Of course, the court came back and thought that, well, that is their case, that they have 11,138 given us, and we are claiming 8,621. So we should just go ahead with our cross-examination, and in the process demonstrate that they have in fact given us only 8,621. But I can assure you that if we are able to establish that they have given us only 8,621, they are in plenty of trouble.
And what amazed me, and continues to amaze me until we find solutions, is that as we stand here, nobody is certain about the number of pink sheets that MPP is complaining about. And it is one of the issues that we spent a lot of time arguing on this morning. Whilst we insist that we have received 8,600 plus pink sheets, MPP continues to claim that they have submitted 11,800 plus, but then they are abandoning 700. Which of the 700 they are abandoning, we don't know, because they have failed to supply a complete list of the 700 polling stations they want to run away from. So it is their style that if they are confronted with any piece of evidence, then they come out to say that we don't know whether it is part of the polling stations we are abandoning, or it still remains one of the polling stations that we are standing by. But we think that we will get over the problem as we proceed. Number two, MPP today claims that they don't know which polling stations they accredit their agents to. Because the whole idea about polling agents being sent to polling stations is that send your witness to an accredited polling station. MPP knew the list of polling stations. They admit they received the voters register. There is nobody who has come from any constituency to say that there is one polling station more than they have in their constituency. And when their leaders are asked if they did not know about the existence of the 22 polling stations, how come they were able to send agents to those polling stations? They said they don't know the polling stations, and they cannot tell which polling stations they send their agents to. And that's very, very interesting. It sounds very